A long time ago, on a comics page far, far away. Greetings and welcome to May the Panel Be With You, the Star Wars comic book show brought to you by the Punch-Up Entertainment Network. I'm your humble host, Mike Gargoni, and joining me, as always, the Boba Fett to my Greinto, it's John Campbell.
Hello, everybody. Oh, we're still in the what-ifs of the infinities, of the endless possibilities of what might happen.
To infinity and beyond. Well, not really beyond, just a couple more issues, because this was only a 4-issue limited series.
Exactly. So it's the last one they ever published. So the endless possibilities of infinities.
Ending here.
Yeah, this is it. Actually, no, it's not endless. It ends right now.
Yeah. We are covering issue number 2 of Star Wars Infinities, Return of the Jedi, The Princess and the Bounty Hunter.
Yes. And I mean, they're in it.
They're in it. This particular issue was released in January of 2004, so probably a year before Revenge of the Sith came out. We're right in the middle of Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith fever.
We were feeling it.
It's less of a fever and more of gout, but anyway.
I feel it right in my big toe, specifically. Yeah.
The credits on this issue are very similar to the one we had last issue. We got Adam Gallardo on writing. We have Ryan Benjamin on pencils. We have Salim Crawford on inks. We also have a couple of names in here that are listed in Marvel Unlimited under the credits. They're listed on the front cover, at least their last names are, but they are not listed on the interior. So we were trying to puzzle this out before we started recording. But we have J.J. Kirby and Dan Norton listed as contributing pencilers here, but they are not credited for any of the interior work inside the book itself.
Rip this Band-Aid off. We were unable to figure out what exactly they did on this.
Yeah, I gotta figure they probably helped with penciling here and there, and then Salim Crawford on inks kind of helped shore up, making it look more cohesive all the way through. When you're missing a page or a panel here and there, and you got to get in your fill-in
once again, it speaks to my whole theory about these, that these were really slapped together. It really just, and so they're like, I don't know, you get on this. I don't know if that's the case, but they really feel very rushed to me, and a lot of the art in particular.
If you're joining us on YouTube, and John and I, as we're doing this right now, let's keep an eye out on the art here and see if we can pinpoint some of the scant little differences that might make us go, that might be a different penciler. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm going to get my magnifying glass out here, and we'll take a look.
Because usually the indicator of a issue that was running really behind is multiple inkers, right? Because multiple inkers generally implies that the pages were done, but they had to get a lot of inking done really fast to get it out by a deadline, so they get multiple people on the same book.
Right. Yes.
If you have multiple interior pencilers on a book, that speaks to a whole other level of chaos.
Unless it's a real stylistic thing, like somebody doing flashbacks or something like that, that is just insanity.
Or you have those that run of Moon Knight where you had 3 distinct art styles for the 3 different personalities of Moon Knight.
Oh, God, that was so good. God.
Look, you put James Stokoe on a Marvel book, and I'm going to be there in a freaking heartbeat.
Oh, and that also had Space Wolves in it, which was great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go read Moon Knight. Anyway,
and honestly, I second that, and by that I mean really any run.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
That book is always one of the most interesting things Marvel is publishing. All right.
But anyway,
don't read that instead of this. Maybe.
Anyway, we got a cover by Rodolfo Migliari again, and let's get to that
say
cover.
Are my favorite parts of this comic. These covers rule. This one I want a print of. A showdown between Leia and Boba Fett. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we get sniper mode Leia in this book up against Boba Fett. Yeah, it rules.
Rad. Boba Fett is hovering with his jetpack, pointing his weapon at Leia, who's just standing with a sniper rifle, do it. Bring it. Yeah.
And this comic does deliver on what the cover promises.
And she's got that confidence because also the Millennium Falcon is right behind her.
Oh, yeah. Who said she was alone?
Yeah, rad. This is pretty awesome.
Lest we forget, though, we're leaping into a whole new fractal world here in this Return of the Jedi variant.
Everything we know is different.
All because Jabba the Hutt hit C-3PO slightly harder this time.
I will say the elevator pitch on this one is not quite as exciting.
Yes.
You have once again, what if Luke missed the Death Star? What if Luke died at the beginning of Empire? And then what if Jabba the Hutt hit a C-3PO 20% harder?
Which then led him to trip, his head to fall off, for Leia to reveal her guys way ahead of schedule, and then to also pull out and then proceed to drop a thermal detonator.
And you're like, that does what? And it's like, lots of stuff. It changes everything. Really?
Which is honestly, I almost respect this one more for like going through the logical consistency of like, okay, little butterfly flaps its wings and then everything spirals out of control from there.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, in some ways, is this maybe the truest example of the nature of the Infinities, right? Maybe. I'm not going to say it's my favorite, but I do. I also kind of like the audacity.
There's something very audacious, as you say, about the original ones, which are just like Luke messes up the trench run. What happens from there? But it's not a retelling of Return of the Jedi necessarily, or not a retelling of A New Hope necessarily, because we pick up right at the end of that story.
Right. This is true. Now, Empire is a little bit more because it happens right at the beginning.
And Empire is its own, Empire Infinities specifically, is its own level of frustrating, right? Because it's not picking up at the end of the Infinities A New Hope, and it does not lead into Infinities Return of the Jedi at all. So it's this weird, segmented middle chapter that exists all on its own.
Well, it posits that like everything up to this point, A New Hope happened exactly, right?
Right.
But then the end of it, it does get weird with that, where you go like, okay, well, does what's interesting about both New Hope and Empire is they are kind of forced to also become their own Return of the Jedis.
A little bit, but the Empire Infinities just does end with like, and now we got to go fight the Emperor.
That's actually true. You're right. The Empire one does. A New Hope took it to a new ending, which is the aforementioned, which you can go back into our archives and read. Yoda driving the Death Star into Coruscant?
And killing everyone, yes.
Yeah. His simultaneous suicide and genocide run.
So, is anything gonna top that in levels of ridiculousness? No.
And this one, I do know where this one goes, and it gets pretty wild. It doesn't get that wild because once again, what could the precedent set by that? My God.
So let's get into this because yes, we now have a situation in which Luke has missed the death of Yoda. Leia is still off hunting Han Solo, who is still trapped in carbonite, having been re-stolen by Boba Fett from an exploded Jabba's palace. And now we're picking up the pieces as Lando and Leia and Chewie are trying to get down Han Solo. Oh yeah, by the way, C-3PO died?
Yeah, and that's like a big deal. That's like a huge deal for everyone.
No one really comments on it going forward. It was more of like a couple of panels in the last issue being like, shit, that sucks.
The whole marketing of the first one was like, a hero falls. And you're like, oh, it's 3PO? I mean, that's kind of sad.
Whereas the marketing on this one, the top banner just says Leia versus Boba Fett. And we're like, yep, all right.
Yeah, that's rad. I'm on board. Yeah. Let's open it up and see what's up. Well, we're on the Death Star.
We're on the Death Star. We have to cut to a creepy guy dressed in black, and it's actually two creepy guys dressed in black.
I will say, I do like the creepiness of the way the Death Star is presented. I also love the light bouncing off of Vader's helmet. I always like when they make it clear that the helmet is shiny.
I really like how every depiction we've had of the Emperor thus far in this book, we've never seen his eyes.
Yeah, they make him much more of a Phantom Menace, if you will.
I'm sorry? Please explain that concept to me.
They make him even less human, right? By having this sort of like wraith-like sort of thing, right? He's this creature consumed by darkness.
Yeah. And that darkness is telling Lord Vader, you need to go to Dagobah, because lest we forget, we ended the last issue with, I guess, Emperor Palpatine sensing the passing of Yoda from his position aboard the Death Star.
Very interesting, and we talked about last week what that could imply. I really, really like the panel that is just the Emperor reflected in the eye of Vader's helmet. That's cool.
Yeah, as Vader's like, Dagobah, and what is it you require?
One more time for Lord Vader.
And the Emperor's just like, I require that you obey me. All will be clear to you in time.
Classic Emperor, stop asking questions.
Just freaking do it, man.
Oh, God, I have to explain myself every time. Good Lord. I like an exasperated Emperor.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Dark Lord of the Sith here. I believe you should just do what I say.
So, yeah, Palpatine, seemingly able to sense the fourth wall, is now positioning Vader into somewhere else.
Not only did he sense the passing of Yoda, he's like, oh, yeah, Dagobah was where he was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's got a lot of info here. And once again, classic Star Wars, you can't get on it too much because the Force is mysterious.
It's true. But we go from a copious amount of over-information to nearly none, because we cut to on a forest world on the edge of the galaxy. No further information given.
I did go, so that's where?
Don't worry about it.
It just, for a franchise that's always pretty clear about, like, planets and stuff like that, for them to just be like, I don't know, it's on some forest planet or something.
You know, a forest planet. One of them.
Well, there's a couple of those. I'm familiar with a few. This is obviously not Kashyyyk.
This is one of them.
Yeah. You know those forest planets? Yeah, it's one of them.
Yeah. Right. We catch back up with Princess Leia, Lando, and Chewbacca, continue what feels like a fruitless search for their comrade, Han Solo, and the man who has him.
Yeah. And so Lando's like, that guy over there, he knows Boba Fett.
Yeah, this is Greento.
Actually, he doesn't know Boba Fett. He knows some Imperials who are meeting with Boba Fett.
Yeah, so there's this...
Yeah, Greento, a totally new character as far as I'm aware.
They just needed to insert a mutton chop guy into here for reasons I can't explain.
When it started with, like, there's our man, I was like, oh, who could this be? What character from Star... Nope.
No, it's frickin' Harry Mudd is who they're finding.
It might as well be Harcourt Fenton Mudd.
It's a guy with big bushy sideburns.
I mean, to be fair, if Mudd existed in Star Wars, he would kind of be this guy, right? Like just some scumbag alien in a bar.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a prune face going on, but what alien doesn't have a little bit of a prune face?
No one has any chill in this comic, because Lando's just like, the hell you say to tell me where this guy is?
Because Leia comes in and is like, excuse me, if you're Greento, I would like a moment of your time, please. And he's like, maybe come back when I'm less busy, huh? Lando comes in with a fist on the table going like, God damn it, tell me where I need to know.
I do kind of like this. It's like, you're good cop, you're bad cop, what's the Wookiee? And the Wookiee is just, he'll kill you.
Chewbacca with a grar grabs this guy by the throat and throws the table aside.
And Leia says, he's the one who will tear your head off if you don't tell us what we want. And he's like, okay.
Of course, when Lando says, like, hey, we're looking for Boba Fett, this guy's like, but Boba Fett will also kill me.
Makes me think of the Blade line where they're like, Frost will kill me. Motherfucker, I'll kill you. Yeah. And that's basically what happens here, where Leia says, and the Wookiee won't. And he's like,
This expression on Chewbacca's face is one of the scariest Chewie faces we've ever had. And that includes some of his weird ape faces we got in early Marvel comics. It
used to be delight at the concept of murder.
And again, maybe this is just Chewie playing it up to, like, scare this guy, a la that scene with 3PO in A New Hope.
No, I want it. I want another head for my trophy wall.
But I will say, I think this is also maybe some insert art here, because like there's enough odd details in the Chewie face here, and then like the wide toothy smile and the extra inking happening here. Like maybe this was a panel we didn't have right out the get-go.
Could be, yeah. So anyway, the guy's like, Fett's going to be meeting with Imperials tomorrow at an abandoned spaceport across the lake.
Yeah, you know, the lake on that forest planet.
And then they want to know what he's exchanged. He's like, I don't know. I didn't ask that much.
The fact that they found anyone who knows where Boba Fett's going to be should be like
you know what I like about this is you're like, how did Lando know this guy would know?
Don't worry about it. Ain't that kind of movie.
Stop asking questions.
I only ask that you obey.
This guy's asking questions he's got no business knowing the answers to. Yeah.
And anyway. Leia does bring up a valid concern of like, but what if he tells Fett that we're coming? And Lando, again, good, valid reason, like, he won't. He knows if he tells Fett that he told anybody else, Fett'll kill him too.
Yeah. This all really worked out for us.
We're all murderers here.
I mean, yeah. So anyway, let's go to Dagobah.
I found this particular transition interesting. We don't get a meanwhile on Dagobah. We just get a, hey, you know where we are. Come on.
And hey, R2, wait outside.
Yeah, come on. Be respectful.
And I will say it is, because as we know, as in Return of the Jedi, when Yoda dies, he disappears into the Force, which causes Luke to be mourning an empty bed.
Yeah, he's like, why couldn't I have gotten here sooner? I still have so much to learn. And then, who's this from off panel? Why, it's Yoda.
Making this all meaningless.
Not meaningless, but definitely like any of the tension that the first issue was trying to raise about like, oh no, he still had so much to tell Luke, is immediately undercut by, oh no, he can just tell Luke everything.
And it's like, oh great. Great this is. More information will I impart.
Info dump I will.
Yeah. Exposition it is called. And yeah, I mean it's and join me, Obi-Wan will, in the info dump to make seem like dialogue. Yeah. And so it's the same shit that's in the movie, right? It's just like Vader's your father. I know that. Yeah, but what you don't know is Leia's your sister.
Yeah, we basically have the ghosts of both Yoda and Obi-Wan here talking to Luke, being like, you gotta face Vader. Luke being like, I don't want to kill my dad. And then this is actually a little bit more of a guilt trip than we get in the movie, insofar as Obi-Wan basically says a Skywalker, we'll take either one, must confront Vader.
Look, if you don't have the balls, we'll get your sister to do it.
And Luke turns around and is like, hey, I can't have Leia doing that. That means it has to be me.
Yeah. Whoa. I mean, basically, it is just like, she's in no position to do that, though.
Yeah, exactly. So this is maybe a little bit more manipulative of, like, forced ghosting than what happens in the film.
I mean, it's been brought up. They do treat him like shit in these movies.
Obi-Wan specifically.
Yeah, I mean, and it is the whole thing about, like, you've got to kill Darth Vader. He's like, I don't want to do that. It's like, well, then, you're done.
I guess you're just gonna doom the galaxy, Luke. Good job.
Oh, well. We tried. We all tried. He's like, God damn, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure getting put on Luke Skywalker. And obviously, he's, like, the hero of the film. He's the paladin. He's the chosen one. Not literally, I know, nerds.
Yeah. I've seen the comments. I made some passing comment a couple episodes ago to did Anakin really bring balance to the Force? And I read the comments where people, at least as far as they're concerned, set me right.
Technically, he's the one who threw the Emperor down that bottomless pit, sure. But
yeah,
then J.J. Abrams had to go and unbalance the Force. So here we are.
I mean, that is the problem with continuing the Skywalker saga to some extent, right? Is you always have to, like, undo some stuff.
Yeah.
In some capacity.
And in some cases, a lot of stuff.
Yeah, or some cases to literally undo stuff. Other things to set a new status quo. Oh, there's lots of stuff. Star Wars is complicated, you guys.
So anyway, we get Luke's face constantly transforming on this page.
Holy God, this is terrible. And actually, Obi-Wan's face is at this point just like melting in on itself.
Yeah, he's like some kind of Salvador Dali, like expressionistic Obi-Wan face. I'm not quite sure what's happening here.
If you look in the middle here on these middle two panels, his bangs also grow out quite a bit between panels.
Yeah. So there's a lot of weird face stuff going on here.
Never can we escape our destinies is also kind of a shitty thing for Yoda to say.
Again, these guys are really guilt-tripping Luke into going to kill his dad.
It's not decided, it already has been.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, wow, good Lord, man.
And then we cut away as Yoda is saying, "Come, Luke, there is much more to discuss before you leave." Or I don't know if this is Yoda or Obi-Wan, so. But we don't hear what there is to say there.
Yeah. No, yeah, but it doesn't matter to us.
Yeah. We cut to a platform somewhere on a forest planet. One of them.
Yeah. Can I say it does not help? Number one, this Imperial officer looks insane, but he also kind of looks like Lando.
Like a whitewashed Lando.
Because for a second I thought, did Lando go undercover? Is that the play here?
I don't know. Again, faces get weird here. And this guy looks like he's Stretch Armstrong at a certain point when his chin is suddenly down to his chest.
Once again, inconsistent. It's just in a couple panels that look like that,
Yeah. But these Imperials are here to bargain with Boba Fett, and Boba Fett is like, "Look, I got a Han Solo in the back here. You could sell this thing for a mint on the open market."
I've been talking to him the whole ride over.
This is Shadows of the Empire Boba Fett just constantly monologuing.
Solo, I got your ass. Yeah, but he is just like, look, I just got in a fresh Han Solo. And this guy's like, why would I want Han Solo?
Reasonable.
Which, and he's like, because you want his friends, he's bait. And the guy's like, oh, that does make sense.
But I got to clear this with my superiors. You wait here. I'm going to get the manager on the horn.
Yeah, I'm not authorized to spend that kind of money. So,
Though we're hearing that through a scope.
Which is cool. I mean, I will say, whatever issues I have with this, Leia with a sniper rifle is what I need in my life.
Yeah, Leia's got like her kind of like a modified version of her Endor outfit on here with like the poncho.
Well, she's in like a sniper cover, right? She's covered herself, so she's disappearing into the... It's really cool. I also like that this is Han's sniper rifle, and her being like, why does Han have a sniper rifle? And Lando's like, hey, you never know when you're in this business. Might have to snipe somebody.
And Han was the best it is at what he does, and what he does ain't pretty.
Yeah, pretty much. But then he catches him, so he goes, I mean, he is. He's still alive, Leia. Don't worry, that was my mistake. He's definitely still alive.
Sure is.
You better believe it. Yeah.
But yeah, we get a zoom in on the scope to Boba Fett. Clearly, Leia is in the sniper's perch waiting for the right moment to strike. And she's basically waiting for confirmation that Han is actually here, because they don't see him out on this platform.
Right. He says he's back in the ship, but she's not going to start shooting, and then he's got him, stashed somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. And again, there's a lot of like good use of like alternate art perspectives. We get a good geographical layout of what's happening here.
This is all pretty well, boarded, if you will. I mean, right? Like the visual storytelling of this, even if maybe the faces get wonky.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get out of there and back to Luke, and he goes, I'm done. I'm done, R2.
Time to go.
Yeah. But first I want to send a message to Leia via the fleet at Sullust. And so he's like, if I die, she needs to know some info.
Yeah, so Luke info dumps off onto R2. Thankfully, it's handled in between the gutters of the panels.
Yep. Woo!
So, we're taking off with our X-Wing. R2, set coordinates for Sullust. Let's get to hyperspace. Let's go meet back up with the fleet. All the puppets are dead now.
Yep. I just buried the last puppet.
But then, what's this?
It's a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, coming out of hyperspace on top of Luke, basically.
I was not prepared for this when the Emperor said go to Dagobah. I didn't think he was going to bring a whole Star Destroyer with him.
I'm just surprised it's not a Super Star Destroyer.
Well, the only one we had was in the shop, so I have to, I had to settle for the lesser model.
I do want to point out some of the art differences here. Let's go back to this page where Luke's taking off with his X-Wing.
Yeah,
that X-Wing looks real crisp, real clean.
Very much so.
That is some kind of digital art insert.
I think there's a few digital art, because I think some of the stars in the Death Star stuff also feel very placed, like not by a human hand.
Right. And I think that's maybe where we're seeing the additional artists coming in here.
Because, not only does that look crisp, look at that planet back there.
Yeah, that looks like...
Looks like a real planet.
Looks like a real planet. Yeah, it looks like an artist rendition of what does an exoplanet look like, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
And then when we cut to this sequence of the Star Destroyer, that looks like a 3D model of a Star Destroyer.
Yes. I do think, they're probably saving time here, right, with some stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you talked, one of the things we discovered about some of those artists that we were talking about, Dan Norton specifically has specialized in graphic design and concept art in a lot of his other stuff. And we know JJ Kirby has done a lot of covers and more illustrative layouts and stuff. So artists like them being involved, and then us seeing stuff like this inserted and taking up honestly pretty big panels in certain pages. Okay, I see what's happening here.
Yeah, absolutely. And that may just become well, that'll just save us some time.
Yeah. It looks good, don't get me wrong.
It does, but once again, the big problem here is that it's inconsistent, right, with the other stuff. It stands out, like you're saying, which is true. And so he's like, oh no, a Star Destroyer.
Quick, I've got to send another message to Sullust. Let's do that now, but then not say what message we're sending.
Luke is having all kinds of conversations and making all kinds of recordings off panel.
Yeah, because he's got caught in a tractor beam and he's getting sucked in. And meanwhile, upstairs, we've got an Imperial toady being like, well, Lord Vader, he did manage to send a transmission before we jammed him. That could be a problem.
And he's like, hey, be lucky that technically isn't a screw-up, because I totally would kill your ass.
But you're going to personally supervise Skywalker's arrest, Commander, so if anyone's going to kill you, it's going to be my son.
He spins right around with that order, too. And you!
How pants-shittingly scared would you be if Darth Vader pointed at you?
God. Oh, yeah. Let me just get a new uniform, sir.
And when Darth Vader says, you are dismissed, this guy's like, yes, Lord Vader. Thank you, Lord Vader. Of course, Lord Vader.
Yeah. And then, of course, we get a said.
Luke.
Yeah. Back to Boba Fett. This thing is jumping around a lot.
There's really the two concurrent stories.
But yeah, the way it's jumping between them is very quick, which I guess, anyway. And so, this is where the guy's like, all right, well, I talked to the people. They've cleared the line of credit or whatever. We freed up some funds. And he's like, where is Han Solo? And he's like, oh, I've got him in the hold of my ship. And pew, pew, pew.
Nobody move.
Yeah. Zakow.
As soon as we confirm that Han is here, Leia opens fire. And from her sniper's perch, she's like, drop your weapons. You're all in my sights.
Yep. But of course, Boba Fett's going to play this cool. I admire your spunk, princess.
How does Boba Fett know who Princess Leia is? I guess Princess Leia is well-known, right?
Well, they were all on Bespin, right? They were all on Cloud City.
Yeah, that's true. I guess, how does Boba Fett know that this is Princess Leia from
I think that's
several 100-meter sniper perch?
Maybe his helmet. His helmet does have. He could zoom
Yeah.
in or something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that one.
There's your no prize, folks. On that one, yeah. I mean, I guess she does yell. Yeah, I mean, although would you be able to identify somebody going, "Drop your weapons now"? Well, that's Princess Leia's voice.
I'd know that voice anywhere.
So anyway, and then the whole thing about what makes you think I'm alone, Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, swoop in, stormtroopers and Imperials are like, ah, shit. But Boba Fett's not going to take this line down. He's going to whoosh out of there and open fire on the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon.
He's going to whoosh and then dow, dow, dow.
I do love a good Boba Fett is flying while also shooting sequence.
Of course. It's one of the coolest things he can do.
It's pretty much the
him
coolest
being
thing.
able to fly is one of the reasons people love him so much, right? When we talk about why this character caught on so much, it's the armor, it's the weapons, it's that he has a jetpack. You're just like, this guy's just rad.
Yeah, for real.
But then Lando's like, hey, where'd he go?
Because he just like zooms past the cockpit and then disappears. Just like the Millennium Falcon did to the Star Destroyer in Empire Strikes Back.
And then I guess the idea is she shot like a fuel tank or something, which is an interesting question.
Yeah, Leia is like, hold on a sec, I gotta take care of these Imperials, and she blows up the Imperial shuttle with a single shot, I guess.
Yeah, they showed this zoom in on like some
piece
kind
of the ship,
power
yeah.
supply or something. Yeah, because I mean, once again, these aren't running on gas or anything. So hold on, I got to fill up my.
Actually, John, it is just not the kind of gas you think. What do you think Tabana gas is used for?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's vaporous gas, not liquid gas.
Oh, there you go. And so I guess that when she shoots that, it explodes.
Yeah, that does do that.
All right. But then, oh no, Fett's on top of the Falcon.
And he's setting some kind of charge, it looks like.
Which is cool.
Yeah, your Fett's got bombs.
And so then Leia starts shooting at Fett.
Because she's like, Lando, Fett's on top of the ship, get out of there.
So she zapows at him.
Lando says, hold on, I'm going to punch it. And he punches it, and he shakes Fett off, I guess.
I will say, this is slightly cooler, but still not a great way for Fett to go out.
Oh no, Fett goes out like a chump right here, because Fett falls off the Millennium Falcon, still holding the bomb he was about to plant. And he lets out a final no before his bomb explodes in his own face.
That's what I mean. It's like you had an opportunity to undo and then you're like, no, he still goes out stupidly.
Leia couldn't have shot him in the head or something?
Yeah, I mean, anything.
This is way before we've established much of the like blaster-proof nature of Fett's armor.
Right. I do actually like how like chipped and broken his armor looks here when he's falling.
Yeah. But he crashes to the platform, and Lando lands the Millennium Falcon and comes out and is like, oh, if he's playing dead, it's the best acting I've ever seen.
That's a good line, actually. And so Leia's like, we don't have time to move Han's, Han and Carbonite, so she'll fly Slave 1.
Hey. Just Leia just straight up being like, no time! I'm gonna fly this sucker out of here.
All right.
But then we have this beat where she is like, hold on, the ship's not working. Why is it not working? The pat down Boba Fett, look for the car keys.
Yeah, I mean, I do like, what am I looking for? A key?
And then Chewie, always the pragmatist, comes up with the solution, which is just yeet his corpse into the trunk.
This really got me. There you go.
And Leia's like, that works too, I guess. The override's built into Fett's armor.
You got just his body's slipping around back there.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, whatever. We'll figure that out later. Anyway, so she fires up Slave 1 and takes off.
And she's like, come on, Lando, we'll see you back at Rebel Command. They're going to go meet up with the fleet at Sullust.
And then, of course, a classic comic book transition is, man, I hope Luke's having an easier time of it. Cut to Luke in chains.
Yeah, Luke is in chains in a jail cell, I guess.
Sure.
this is a comic book, and that Luke technically has superpowers. I kept expecting him to have those big, like, weird manacle binders that you always see in Marvel comics that, like, somehow stop people from using their powers.
They exist in Star Wars, don't they? I mean, what do they put on Grogu?
Grogu, they just put...
I thought
they
those
put manacles on him, but they don't have any, like, power suppression. The only example I can think of that was, like, even remotely like that is what they truss up Maul in at the end of the Clone Wars. And there's a specific line that's like, yeah, Mandalorians made these to, like, deal with Jedi. Don't worry about it.
Love a hand-wavy explanation like that.
Well, the implication there is just like, once upon a time, the Jedi and the Mandalorians had big beef, and that's some deep Star Wars lore. And so, like, we just had some of these torture cans kicking around from those days.
There you go. Bing, bang, boom. And so I do like Vader's line of, I've come once more to offer you the chance to rule the galaxy by my side.
I do love the smooth operator Luke here, just with a movement of his hands, making the manacles that hold him just immediately fall away.
It's a moment I like in Snyder's Man of Steel where they put Superman in the cuffs, and then he's like, if they make you feel better. But then at a certain point, he's just like, all right. Here's the thing. It's just like, let's not pretend. And so, But he's like, yeah, I'll never do that. And Vader's like, I don't know. Think about it.
And if you don't, you've got until we get to the Death Star, because then you got to talk to my boss, and whew, he's an asshole.
He's going to be a lot less nice about it. And he walks out of there, and that's the end of the issue.
Yeah, this issue just, again, like the last one, just really just cuts out. We lose... Yeah. Obviously, we don't have any of the, like, ads and stuff that would have made up the bulk of an issue like this. We don't have a letters page.
It would have said, it would have been a thing about next issue, this, and then probably an ad or letters, but I will say the Dark Horse books that we've done have sort of just been like, Meh.
Yeah, the book just ends. And this is, again, a mini-series. How much of this was all made at the same time? Obviously, it was released monthly. But how much of it was just like, it reads so much better, because I still have my, like, omnibus of all of these. It reads so much better as a trade paperback.
We talked a little bit about this last week, right? With the, as we're going through these, not only are we following the evolution of Star Wars, but just the evolution of comic book storytelling as well. And we're definitely entering an era where they are now writing comics to be collected in trades. The thought
writing to the trade, yeah.
Yeah, is because the interesting thing about comics now, right, is they do come out as periodicals, but aside from that first release and maybe a second printing, they will never again be that, right? I mean, they will essentially be but a chapter in a larger story will be how you will mostly find them, unless you're looking in back issue bins.
I mean, yeah, from here on out, how you will consume most comic books is either in the, like, digital single issues like we are, which makes it feel slightly stilted and strange, or as a completed trade paperback or part of a larger omnibus.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's strange that comic books now live in this, like, they will only exist as this single issue format for a brief period of time, and then for the rest of their existence, they will exist in a completely different context.
It's really interesting, yeah. I mean, they're more like episodes of TV at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people always make the comparison to movies, but I think specifically, like, superhero stuff and stuff that comes out monthly are more like episodes of television than they are like movies.
And there are certain comic books, as there are with, like, television, where you can be watching the individual episodes and it feels like a satisfying progression each and every week. And there are some shows that certain streaming services and networks put out that it's like, oh, wow, this felt way more cohesive when I sat down and binged it.
Yes, exactly.
And these Infinities books specifically definitely feel more bingeable, if you will.
I mean, the fact that they don't feel like chapters in the thing. The fact that they just kind of go at the end makes you go like, oh, it's over. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's not really. This is not really an ending, because this ending is just him going like, well, we're going to go talk to the Emperor. And you're like, okay. I mean, that's mildly a cliffhanger.
I sort of assumed, because that's how the movie worked.
Yeah. I figured the Emperor would show up in here at some point.
So we're halfway through the Return of the Jedi Infinities, how big of a difference are we really in the story of Return of the Jedi? What's really changed thus far?
I think you nailed it when you were talking about it's more delaying the events of it in some ways, right? Like, it's a longer search to get Han Solo back.
Mm-hmm.
But Luke is now right back on the path where he is in Return of the Jedi.
Right. Like, he
and
just
actually, now
happened to surrender himself at a different forested planet.
Yeah. Other than killing off 3PO, not much.
And Han Solo's still a piece of furniture.
Right. And this neither issue has dealt with it since, but conceivably there's going to be challenges with that because Leia shot the control panel for the thing.
Right.
So...
and obviously we have this confrontation. Like, Leia feels more like an active character in this version of Return of the Jedi than the movie version. Because after she gets captured by Jabba the Hutt, Leia is pretty passive for the rest of the story. Like, she has a good dynamic with Han Solo when they're on their mission in Endor and stuff. But, like...
yeah. She's leading that mission. I mean...
she doesn't really have an arc in that movie.
Well, neither does Han.
Yeah, that's
Han
true.
Absolutely doesn't. She has a little bit of an arc with the Luke stuff, but yeah, Han has absolutely no arc in the way.
Right. Whereas, the thrust of that film is to complete Luke's arc, right?
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not every character needs an arc in every movie. That's not like,
no,
what are they doing?
No,
but yeah,
but whereas like Leia and Han's like trajectory and story beats were way more like front and
pretty
center
much
in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would say her arc really ends in Jabba's palace. The idea that she has now come full circle to loving Han enough to do that, and them being together, is the culmination of their arc, right? That starts.
Well, and Han's ends with that bit in front of the bunker on Endor being like, "I love you," and Leia saying, "I know."
Yeah, I mean, their arc that completes in that movie is their relationship with each other more so than it is their individual arc like Luke.
Right, yeah. Speaking of things that get undone in the sequels.
Yeah, I have my issues with that.
Yeah.
I follow, but I don't like.
I understand. That doesn't mean I accept or like.
Right, yeah, it does feel a little bit like, so the rebellion fell apart, their relationship fell apart, Luke's jet. Man, did anything matter that we did in that trilogy? Okay. All right, I see how it is. Fuck me for liking those movies, right? Yeah, you got it. All right. Well, if you want to hear more from us and our rants, apparently, you can head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/punchup, and get cool exclusive bonus content from all the shows on the Punch Up Entertainment Network, as well as support the shows here. And where else can people check us out, Grigiani?
That's YouTube. YouTube.com/@PunchUpEntertainment. While you're there, you can find this show and one of the best ways to consume it, which is visually. Through the magic of telephoto communications, you can see our beautiful faces as well as read the comic along with us and see all of the art that we've been describing throughout this series. While you're there, you can also find all of our YouTube exclusive content like Punch Up Plays or Material Components The Shadow Kingdom. While you're there, please like, comment, subscribe. Let us know in the comments below if you were to change an incredibly minor detail, like Jabba the Hutt hitting 3PO 20% harder, but in A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, where would you tilt the dice just a little bit?
Take this minutia approach to the other ones that they did and see what happens.
Yeah. For me, what if Aunt Beru is still alive when Luke gets back to the house?
He's able to save Beru.
It's just Beru. What if that? Who knows?
Who knows? But I mean, according to this comic, you could take any small event and spiral it, right? I mean, you really could. That could actually be massively important if they want.
Oh, here's a good one then. They can't find a buyer for Luke's speeder in Mos Eisley.
But think about it. That delays them from meeting Han Solo. He takes off with that, right? I mean, yeah. I just like the idea of somebody going like, "No, it's just too high a price, man."
This piece of junk.
Come on, it's got a scuff right here. No, I can't.
This thing smells like droids. I could never.
Oh, come on, man. Yeah, there you go.
But I think that is going to do it for us this week on the show. As always, I have been Mike Ergoni.
I'm John Campbell.
And remember, may the panel be with you.